Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm your man, Joe Boric, and this is a quick video on the Sixers. Unlike certain bits and pieces of the NFL draft, I agree with a mix of most of Philly on the Sixers. I do think, in some sense, last game where we lost 108 to 95, which that score was a little bit closer than how we really played compared to the Raptors. It still was a bigger win for them, but I would say 13 points is even closer than the realm we played. And there were some tweets and some talks about that as I listened to sports radio as well, because that game, which I followed from the Phillies game, but in order to help make this video, watch the replay of it, clips of it that I recorded, plus a lot of the highlights. But you can only watch so much of a game that, for a lack of a better word, kind of pissed you off. And that's because it's a game where you had all your guys, like Ben Simmons was your most efficient guy, and he dropped 14 only, and only had 3 assists. But the reason he was the most efficient guy is he only shot 8 shots and went 7 of 8. Where if you're looking at everybody else, JJ Redick had a horrible first half, which really hurt us. And he went 6 of 13 all game, so that wasn't bad, but his first half was really bad, so that really hurt us. Jimmy Butler was not aggressive at all in game one. Tobias Harris was not aggressive enough in game one either. And Joel Embiid had 16 and 8, but was primarily stopped by Marc Gasol. He only went 5 of 18. That's not a good shooting night at all. And Serge Ibaka. So I think it's hard when Joel has a bad knee and he's playing through it, because Serge Ibaka's a very good defender. Marc Gasol's a very good defender. One of those two is at least elite in consideration of how NBA defenders are, especially with the analytics nowadays, if not both. And then Pascal Siakam keeps getting better in all facets of the game. Like Stephen A. Smith said on First Take today, I don't think there's a question of who's the most improved guy this year. Comeback player would be probably D. Rose, but most improved is definitely Pascal Siakam, in my opinion, and in a lot of people, from what they talk about on NBA TV to ESPN to Fox Sports, etc., etc. I think the problem is James Ennis was also efficient, scoring 11 of 4 of 5, I believe. Yeah, 4 of 5. But the problem we had that game is we had nobody that could guard Kawhi Leonard. Jimmy Butler didn't do a very good job. He dominated Tobias Harris, which is probably an understatement. And then the best guy that did the best job was Ben Simmons, limited him the most. But when you look at the box score and you go, oh, well, the guy dropped 45 points, I agree with Hoffman, the Sixers insider. Ben Simmons did the best, and he did okay to solid, but I don't know if you can say he did okay. He just kind of did the best, because when somebody drops 45 on you and shoots 16 of 23 and gets 11 rebounds, that was another problem. We didn't rebound well enough. I think that means nobody really did that well. It's just one guy did the best. So what you got to really do tonight, and we all knew coming into this series, this was a toughie. The Raptors are 6.5-point favorites tonight. Like JJ Redick said, you want to at least take one in Toronto to feel good. I agree in some sense with Stephen A. Smith, but I do think this is close to a must-win, because if you don't win this game, you do have to win both in Philadelphia to have a chance. And we are very solid at home. We've been like that all season. So there's a chance of that happening, of it being like a series where the home teams win each game. The problem with that mantra is you would still end up losing the series. So eventually you would have to you would have to win a game in Toronto, because you can't have it win just at home, because that would mean you would lose in 7 games. So that would just make it a very entertaining series where I think everybody would be back in that sense. But you really have to be able to steal a game in Toronto, either in these two, and if you don't in these two, you have to win the 2 at home, or later on. So tonight you need Joel Embiid to step up more. If he's playing through a bad knee, you just kind of need him to be able to do what he can do and take what he can get rather than trying to force stuff. You need Jimmy Butler to be a lot more aggressive. We need Tobias Harris to be more aggressive. We also need Jimmy Butler to be able to be more aggressive on guarding Kawhi Leonard. I think at this point, with how Ben Simmons did the best, you might want to let him take the ropes at getting Kawhi Leonard the most and see if that can limit him a little bit. Because what you need to do to really win this game is stop Kawhi Leonard, and then you can't ignore, obviously, you have to stay focused on Siakam because he also kicked your ass. So it's going to be a tough game for the Sixers. I do think they're going to come out pumping in this one. They're going to be pissed off over last game's performance. And I think that's going to help to motivate them, but you really need to step it up this game and really get going. This has been a look ahead to the Sixers and a look back to last game. Have a great day, everybody. Let's go Sixers. Peace out.